Welcome. What is up? Welcome to This Week at the Mixer. Joined again here by Jeff. Third week in a row. They say 3 weeks make a habit. So hopefully we keep it up, keep it going strong. I'm not ready to give you the co-host label yet, so we'll say guest starring at this point. It's kind of like a on the job interview. He's temping right now. He's a contract worker. We're outsourcing some of our work here to Cleveland, apparently.
I'm good with that.
Where Jeff, maybe that's where his heart resides. Speaking of your heart, we should get right into it. Awesome wedding.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had a question. So, what was losing your virginity like?
Well, it didn't happen that night.
Oh,
okay. There's a few people that were around at the end of the night, and Samantha was not in shape to do that.
Oh, wah, wah.
Yeah.
So TBD.
Yeah.
I guess. I was gonna say congrats on the sex, but
thank you.
Maybe for next week. Stay
I appreciate the thought.
But it was fun. I had a good time. A lot of people watching had a good time. I think I left at the right time. People were starting to get sloppy drunk.
Yeah.
I felt like I was bringing up the median age there by like 2 or 3 years. So, which is new for me. So, but yeah, it was a good time.
Good.
That church was amazing.
Yeah. Glad you liked it.
The reception area had what you need. It had the tacos. It had a ton of booze. So, what more could you want, right?
Exactly.
Overall, it was a great wedding. It was a great wedding.
I'm glad you were
I was happy to be there.
It.
Happy to see Anthony. Shouts to the commish. Must have been weird for him being surrounded by Cali folk again. Remembering what people look like under 2.5 bills must have been a system shock for him. I forgot to ask him about that. But anyway, let's get into it.
Also, I want to give a quick shout out to Mason for being a terrible friend and not coming out to the wedding, but coming through with the wedding gift and letting me win last week.
Oh, yeah. Well, T's and P's for Mace.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's holding it down in Indiana. All right, so let's get into it. Another week to forget for me. Jesus. I'll go do my game last. I need to prepare for it. So first up, we're going to look at Shawn versus Danny. We'll take a look at Shawn's team first. He had 20 from Andy Dalton, 16 from Royce Freeman, 14 from Cortland Sutton, who's been sneaky consistent this year, doing pretty well, but wasn't enough this week. Danny got 24 out of Phil, who had just a terrible day. The Rams got him 21 points, and Saquon back, right? First week back, got 16 points. I think I thought he was going to be inactive, but high ankle sprain be damned. Some people, unlike David Johnson, apparently are able to play through injury, and Saquon does it for Danny. Gets 16 and gets him the win, 117 to 106. You have anything to note from this one?
It's tough when you're like Shawn and you have one player that gets 20 points or more. It's going to be really hard to win a week that way.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, looking at these teams, Danny got Saquon back. Danny's team's all right. He's got a few places he could upgrade, but I really feel bad for Shawn at the moment. With Gurley and Kamara, they've both kind of put him in a tough spot because you kind of have to play them both.
Mm-hmm.
But
Kamara is going to be back soon.
Yeah.
Gurley will probably have a good week this week.
Yeah, the tough thing with Gurley, though, is he hasn't had any week like he did last year,
That's true. Where he wins you weeks.
Exactly.
Basically.
But you have to still play him, so.
That's kind of what you get out of most second-round picks. You may catch fire and get Dalvin Cook in the second round, or did you get him in third?
I got him in the second.
Okay. But, me and Anthony went through, and a lot of the second round was misses. It was like Antonio Brown went in the second, or maybe he went in the third. Anyway, one of the rounds up at the top there was a miss. Todd Gurley was as good of a pick as anybody, at least heading into it. But yeah, he's not producing the way that Shawn needs him to. and he's 2-5 because of it. Simulation trying to lay low, still has not come out as a non-baby eater. So the evidence continues to mount that Shawn is a lifeless, soul-sucking computer overlord.
Well, yeah, that's a given.
Next up, we have Anthony. Nearly got doubled up on by Matt. Spoiler alert. Normally I would say you hate to see this, but I actually am kind of disappointed in this result. Kind of need Matt to come back down to earth a little bit, because I'm right there in that vying for the last playoff spot. Anthony got 22 out of Dak, 18 out of Aaron Jones, 14 out of Austin Hooper. He must have had a lot of no-shows. Do you have any info on the no-shows?
Yeah, so Anthony obviously has Mahomes as his number one, who was off to a good day till he dislocated his patella.
Jeez, that seems like so long ago. It was a week ago today.
Kerryon Johnson also went out early. Those two hurt. Galladay only getting 3 points in a game where Detroit scored 30 is really tough as well.
And Marvin Jones got 4 touchdowns. And Galladay got 2 points.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the tough thing, right? And then whereas Matt had, he had Jacoby Brissett gets him 30, throws 4 touchdown passes. He's got Darren Waller goes 7 for 126 with 2 touchdown passes. When your opponent puts up, 2 30-point guys, it's tough to beat in general.
Yep.
And when your main guys get hurt in the middle of a game and don't finish it, it's going to be a tough week.
So Anthony runs into the buzzsaw with Matt, almost gets doubled up on 162 to 86. I think it's probably one of Matt's biggest week of the year. So really unfortunate for Anthony there. I mean, Anthony's got a decent record. He's got a decent point total so far. I'd say he's pretty safe for the playoffs at this moment. Matt was really down towards the bottom, but after this game, I think he's kind of at the top of that pack, looking for that last some of those last playoff spots. So Matt's going to be pretty happy with that result. He'll probably watch this week. So hi, Matt.
Yeah,
how you doing?
To be completely honest, before we go any further, playoff seeding is going to be real interesting here, right? Because you've got my team at 7-0, leading the Hose division, but then you've got 3 teams at 4-3. You've got 4 teams at 3-4.
Yep.
And then a couple 2-5s, right? So no one's really out of it yet. We got 6 weeks left. No one's completely done yet. Yep.
So tilt those lineups extra hard. I know I am, and it's showing by my repetition making bad choices. It kind of mimics my life, but anyway. Next up, we have Zach versus Jess. Jess is on a roll lately. Zach got 27 out of Zeke, 18 out of Deshaun Watson, and then her third highest scorer was the New Orleans defense with 10. So not going to be a good week.
That was Zach who got that.
Oh, sorry, Zach.
Yeah.
Apologies. See, this is what happens with the team names not being clear, even though
Nation of Dormination.
Zach is probably the clearest one. But anyway, Jess.
We can just get straight to it. Aaron Rodgers won this game for Jess.
Yeah, she had Jess. Yeah.
He had the 47 points, 429 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
Yep, that's going to do it. Hopefully, for Jess's sake, he continues. Diggs had a good day with 22. But Jess, third straight win, right? She started 0-4. Now she's won the last 3.
Yep.
So, as someone who's 3 games below 500, I could sure go for a 3-game winning streak right now. Let's move on. Your matchup, Jeff. We got Jeff versus Mason. A lot of people had this one circled. Some sneaky good matchups this week. I guess any week there is, but you got 28 at Dalvin Cook. New England defense continues to be the biggest difference maker in fantasy. Got you 25 points.
Yep.
Eckler continues to do his thing. Got most of his points from 2 long passes, I believe.
Yeah.
He ended up with 25. I think he went over 100 yards receiving. He didn't do much on the ground. Mason, on the other hand, he got 26 out of Hopkins. Amari Cooper managed 16. he got 15 out of his tight end, but and Gerald Everett, but not much else there. He loses to you 138 to 104. Anything else on this one?
Yeah, I mean, this was just kind of this was a tough week. I said last week on the show, going into it, I was down McCaffrey and Godwin. Luckily, I had Dalvin Cook step up. Austin Eckler came back with a 25-point game, which almost happened to be like a 31-point game.
Yeah, it should have been.
He had the touchdown taken away.
Yeah.
Josh Allen against Miami ended with 23. And then, like you said, that New England defense has just been team MVP so far.
Yep.
Putting up over 20 a game as a defense.
Yeah, if you can get that tight end or the defense that produces every week, that's going to get you 15 to 20. I mean, New England's gotten you 30 a few times or close to 30. I mean, that's why you're the top scorer. I mean, certainly your team, even with a regular defense, would still be up there, probably at the top of the standings. You may not be 7-0, and you may not have as big of a points gap, but for now, gotta love that. Gotta love having that New England defense.
Yep.
So that we're just gonna skip over my matchup.
Jake.
Yeah. Okay. So another disappointing week. I mean, we'll start with a positive for Jake first. He got 32 out of Kirk Cousins after benching him last week. So good to have him in his lineup. I heard Kirk Cousins is like a top 5 quarterback somehow. Probably just after the last 2 weeks, he's bumped him up. And with Mahomes going down, I don't know where he's in that, but and Drew Brees too. So I mean, there's some inflation there, but still, nobody would have thought Kirk Cousins would be a top 5 quarterback heading into the season. Michael Thomas got him 23, and San Francisco's defense got him 15. I mean, my team, I got 27 out of Goff. I got 25 out of Lamar Jackson. Tyreek Hill had 0 points at halftime. He finished with 16 points, all from Matt Moore. So hopefully that can continue. I know with Mahomes going out, his Tyreek's is gonna dip. But I mean, the real story here continues to be my last roster decision. I keep fucking it up. I'm resorting towards my child, and she keeps messing up equally as bad. So I mean, my strategy moving forward is to probably fade her picks. So whatever she picks, I'm gonna do the opposite. I mean, maybe we'll talk about it in the matchups, but